Alright, good morning. Today we're looking at my final form of this ship I've been playing with for a while now. I call this the Southern Cross. It's easily the largest and most complicated build that I've ever done. It's 5 decks. I managed to get a single ladder going all the way up to the top. I think it has something like 28 or 29, or room for 28 or 29 2x1 internal habs. And yeah, it's a Class C behemoth. It's got every hab in the game represented inside. And like I said, I've been working on this for probably a better part of a month at this point, and I'm really happy with the way it came out. The only thing that I never really figured out how I wanted to do is this bridge. So I used one flip glitch, and it's this little piece right here under the bridge. There's some pieces, and when I get into the builder, I'll show you what I'm talking about. But some pieces here where its guns mount under the cockpit that, I mean, like a millimeter stick down into this piece right below it. And I really wanted to use that cockpit for that slot in there because it just fits better than all the other ones. Unfortunately, it didn't want to fit without using a flip glitch on this piece right here. So, whatever, it is what it is. And did I forget to paint this? Or is that just a light? But it's a large ship, very large. And it's powered by 6 of these SAL 6830 engines. And I think I got the cargo up to 6,400, which for a ship this size is pretty good. Remember, like, the larger you make your ship, the less mass you have to play with to put into cargo. So I've made ships with up to between 8 and 9,000 cargo before, but the ships themselves are really small with only like 1 or 2 halves inside. So yeah, I used this Stroud side loader. As I was saying before, there's 5 decks. The ladder goes all the way up to the top. Deck 1 is just a single 2x1 hab because nearly the entire bottom of this ship is nothing but landing gears because it's so heavy. This is a workshop. Deck 2 comes into this mess hall. No, sorry, this is the all-in-one living hab. I think this is a 3x1 living hab. Then I have the brig over here. Off to the side of the brig, I have an armory. There's some beds in the bathroom back here, and then on this side is some 2x2 living quarters. And then in the back of the living quarters is a more living space. Deck 3. It's just going to be a mess hall. And then in the back of the mess hall, I have a cargo hall. I've got it empty right now. I'm not really sure. This is just a placeholder. I'm not really sure how I want to configure this yet. And we got another living quarters back here, 2x2 living quarters. And then on the other side, more living quarters. Deck 4. We have a computer core here. We got an infirmary. I think the science station is on this side. Yep. Maybe I'll play with it. Maybe I'll put the workshop here and put the computer core at the bottom. That way all of the crafting stations are right here next to each other. This is a battle bridge. 2x2 battle bridge. And then off to the side is just basically like a little break room here for the guys that are working. Going up this way is the bridge, or the cockpit. This is all on deck 4, and then there's one more deck that goes up. just have more living quarters. And then the engineering stations. So that's all 5 decks. As I said, it's a large ship, and getting a single ladder, you know, you got to use these, not on every deck, but a lot of them have this just little 1x1 companionways to kind of force the ladders into that section right there. This is as big as you can make the ship, and still have 100 mobility anyways. I've hit the module limit.
We're asking everyone to... Okay, no problem.
So I named it Southern Cross, because it's part of the Constellation series of ships that I've been making. 4,275 mass, that's as high as you can go with these engines, and still maintain 100 mobility. Class C ships are limited to 130 top speed, max crew of 10, cargo 6,400, 1,600 shields. I've done something a little different. If this is your first time watching some of my videos, is all the weapons, if you're wondering where they're at. This is essentially a 99.9% vanilla build. The only piece that's flip glitched is this piece right here. It's the only piece that won't go in. You just flip it and it goes in. But the weapons are all internalized, the weapons and shields. So there's certain places in here where I put the weapons inside the ship, and they still function even, you know, on vanilla builds. The game doesn't care where the weapons are mounted as long as they're properly mounted, and they'll just fire through the ship. Excuse me. And they'll work just fine. The only thing you don't want to do is put them in line directly behind the cockpit, because it's kind of, I mean, it'll still work, but it's a little weird where you're firing particle weapons and it's just shooting through you in the cockpit. It just looks weird and it's a little disconcerting. So as long as you're off to the sides or up or below with the weapon mounts, then it works just fine. I wanted this to be very clean looking from the outside, and I used some of these tios, lots of side caps, and these end caps to cap off the ends here to make it look pretty. I got the 6 of these Deimos bellies, 3 on the front, 3 on the rear, to give it a nice little tapered look on the bottom. 6 engines, of course. These are the most powerful engines in the game, the Slayton Aerospace 6830s. You have to do the All That Money Can Buy quest from Stroud, and you have to do it while you're inside. It's a stealth quest. Sorry, it's that stealth quest where Stroud's wife, Miss Eklund, will be guiding you, and you have to not kill anybody inside the building while you're doing that. Once you're outside, the guards that are up on the top of the neon, you can shoot them all you want. But when you're inside the building, you can't kill anybody. And if you do it without harming any of his men, I guess Mr. Slayton is impressed, and he'll give you access to the engine technology, like a little technology exchange. So that's nice. 2 engines. I'm using these 2 M50 Ulysses. It gives the ship 500 fuel. And I have the skills to double that, so it's more than enough to jump across the settled systems in one jump. I'm using 8 of these Nova thruster arrays on the sides, just basically to cap off. I thought about putting the windows there, but I decided to use thrusters. And of course, I'm using my usual 100 DP slim docker at the bottom, and you can see all the gears here. I could have used the Nova Galactic 20 gears, and that'll work, but I like the looks of these because it's got that nice tapered edge, and it really goes good with this build. This is mostly a Stroud build with some Tio parts and stuff, but yeah, most of the stuff I got here is from Neon. A good chunk of the parts here. Alright, so I guess I've been putting it off. I'll have to take this apart and show you how it all goes together, and hopefully I can get them back together. We'll see. It's pretty complicated inside. Alright, I'll be back here in just a minute. Alright, we're back. I got this thing disassembled. Alright, starting with the bottom deck 1. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 11. These Aculander 11 landing gears. And the 4 on the sides are going to be sloped. You know, these gears have a 3 different configurations. They can be like the center, to the right, and to the left. So 4 are going to be pointing to the left, 4 are going to be pointing to the right, and then the 3 here in the middle are in the middle configuration. As far as the weapons, we're using 4 of these PV300 alpha beams, 3 of these 250 mega electron volt alpha beams, and 3 of these. Is it 3? Hang on a second. Yeah, 4. Sorry. 4 of these Disruptor 3340 alpha beams. And like I said earlier, all these weapons are going to be mounted inside the ship, so you don't see them from looking from outside, to give the ship a more aesthetically pleasing profile. But here, all it is we start off with this Stroud workshop 2x1. We hook up a Stability Pro landing bay. This is the Stroud side landing bay. And on the other side, we're just going to use a Stroud Cowling 1LA SB. So it's the same. You know, I just needed something that looked the same as the landing bay, so it gives the same appearance on both sides. And then we're going to hook up our. Let me do this first. Alright, so like I said earlier, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 landing gears, and a Stroud Workshop 2x1 in the middle for deck 1. Deck 1 is just a single 2x1 hab for the habitable area. For the weapons that are mounted on the ship internally, we're using these Deimos Spine Cs, and you gotta facing with the, here, let me take this gun off so I can show you. So you can have this thing facing forward like that, or backwards like this. You need to have it facing with the larger side facing forward. Otherwise the guns stick too far back. On this one I'm going to put an Obliterator 250 mega electron volt, and this one remains empty on this side. And then 2 Disruptor 3340 alpha beams on this one, and 2 PV300 alpha beams on this one. It really doesn't matter how you mount the weapons internally, so you can stick them on there however you want. To cap off the ends, we're going to use 3 of these Deimos belly in their 4 configuration. They can also go aft. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do the same thing for the rear. Where did I put them at? Now they're back here. So you're going to have 6 total. 1, 2, 3. So you get this nice little sloped sled looking thing here for deck 1. Deck 2 is going to be is that deck 2? Yeah. So that'll go there. We're going to use 2 of these. Oops. 2 of these Taio end caps, and they got this nice little sleek looking edge here. That's why I used them, and it fits in with the Taio side caps here that we're going to be using to give the ship, like, to basically make it a little prettier. Just stick those 2 in the corners there like that. And then right in between the 2 Taio end caps, we're going to stick this. I don't know if you can stick that there yet. No, it won't fit. We have a 20-ton hauler cargo hold. And then directly behind it, we have Oh, that's going to be on top of it, isn't it? Yeah. So we're going to just hold off on that for a second. I screw this up again. One sec. Alright, I'm back. Sorry. I think I see what I'm doing wrong here. These tile end caps should be up on the Deimos bellies up here. And then this, whoops, this won't go in here yet because it actually connects to a piece above it, but this Stroud companionway 1x1 will go right there. A Stroud all-in-one berth 3x1 right here. And then I believe this spine C4 will go here, and it has the alpha beam PB300 and a second alpha beam 300 on a spine C. Let me see something here. Yeah. All right. So that's deck 2. And like I said, this is going to go here. Oh, now we can fit that there, yeah. All right. Because, yeah, it connects to this piece. And then right above that, I think that goes there. So that's a spine C4, and then a obliterator 250 mega electron volt, and a second mega electron volt 250 right there. Let me see something. Yeah. All right, so deck 3. We're going to use number 3 and number 4 of these Taio end caps. So we're going to have 4 total. And we're just going to stack them right on top of each other, just like that. And then on top of this Stroud companionway 1x1, we're going to use another Stroud companionway 1x1. And this is how I get the ladder, basically, to go all the way up to the top of the ship. Otherwise, you'd have a labyrinth inside. And for the grav drive, we're going to use an Apollo GV200. And that'll just slot in right there. On the other side, we're going to use a sheared flow 40, SF40 reactor. This is, I think, the best reactor you can get for the weight. And then we'll see. We'll hook up this Stroud mess hall 2x3 right there. You see how the weapons are enclosed now inside. And then behind the Stroud mess hall 2x3, we're going to use this cargo hull. Actually, you know what? Oops. Let me see something real quick. So this goes on the back corner. Sorry, I got to remember where all the weapons placements are. Let me do that before I forget. We'll put our guns on. So that will be a PB300 alpha beam and a disruptor 3340 alpha beam. And then on the other side, a 3340 alpha beam and a PB300 alpha beam. And then on this side, we're going to use this Stroud cargo hull 2x3. The shield is going to go right there, and that's going to be a Assurance SG 1800. And then right behind that shield is going to be, why do I put it like that? That's confusing. Oh, maybe it's because, anyways, that should be right there. That's a Galleon S204 cargo hold. And on either side, I don't think these are going to, oops. Is that where they were originally? I guess it was. So, yeah, I know why I did that, because they wouldn't hook up to the first deck. They hook up to the deck above them. So, you have your cargo hull, 2x3, a Galleon S204 cargo hold here, and then in the back corners here, you're going to have a Galleon S202 and a second Galleon S202, and you're going to have them sloped inwards, because you need the outer piece here facing outwards. Let me see something here. Okay, see, I already screwed up. These guns here should be up into the corners just like that. Y1. Yeah. Alright, so sorry, I had the guns in the wrong place. They had to go out one slot. And then just to, because if you're looking outside the ship, you'd see the sides of the reactor and the grav drive. We're going to use 4 of these Taio side caps, and those go in just like that. And that's why I use these Taio end caps here, because it just slopes in perfectly with these Taio end caps. Do the same thing for the other side for the reactor, and it looks just like that. That's deck 3. Deck 4 is going to be, we'll start off with the Stroud battle station 2x2, and I'll go in just like that. And we have a Stroud living quarters 2x1. Directly behind it, we have a Stroud computer core 2x1. And then a Stroud science lab 2x1 will go here. Stroud infirmary 2x1 there. Cargo hold 30T will go there, and just like these ones down here, well, these are Galleon S202s. These are 30T haulers, but it's the same concept. They have to be sloped inwards. Use 2 of them on either side. And then to trim off the edges here, we're going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these Deimos bumpers. So the first one will just be the edge, and then 2, it's all the same piece. They can just be forwards, middle, and rear. We're going to use a forward, or excuse me, a mid, another mid, and then one facing to the rear. Same thing with the other side. Forward, mid, mid, and mid. You can see the ship starting to take form now. Deck 5 is going to be a Stroud all-in-one berth 3x1, followed by a Stroud engineering bay 3x1. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 Stroud cowling 1 LAs. And these can be facing, they can be facing right or left. They can also go like upside down, but we're going to have them top side, so they're going to be facing like that. We'll just use them like that, cover it up. I've screwed this up. Let me switch these around real quick so the paint is, there we go. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Actually, it's 13 because the one down here. See the gears. I could have put a gear there, but I wanted it to be like symmetrical. And because the other side is the landing bay, it doesn't actually have a piece sticking out. I wanted it to look the same. I didn't want just a gear sticking out on this end and not the other side. I guess we can do the engines. We're using 6 of these SAL 6830s. As I was saying earlier, you only get these from doing the quest from Stroud called All the Money Can Buy. And nothing to it, they just hook in right here. And then these Taio, what are these things called? Bellies. They just kind of give it like this, looks like they're holding the engines up appearance. And then, let's see, we'll do the fuel tanks. We have 2 of these M50 Ulysses HE3 tanks. These give 250 fuel each. They're going to go right here, either side on the aft of the ship. So this just leaves the nose cone and the 2 wings that have to go on. Now, as far as the wings, so you can see, like, I've got these 2x2 living quarters on this side and the brig on the other side. When you're done building the wings, they'll just slot in like that. So the wings, all they are is a 2x2 living quarters from Stroud, then a Stroud all-in-one berth 2x1, and then on top of that we're going to use a Stroud living quarters 2x2. This leaves this little piece here, and that's what's going to slot in here to hold it to the ship. And then we're going to use 2 of these Stroud Cap Bs, the aft parts here. Make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah. And they're going to go on the corners here of this wing. And then on the nose, we're going to use 2 Stroud nose cap Cs, just like that. And then here in the middle, we're going to use 2 Stroud braking engines. And then, like I said here, I was going to put windows here, and that would work fine, but I decided to go with these Nova thruster arrays. There's going to be 4 on this side and 4 on the other. If you ever wanted to make modifications to the ship and you're at the module limit in its current configuration, you could just delete these. They're not really necessary, they're just for looks. But this would be the first thing to go if you needed to make changes to the ship and add some more modules for whatever reason. So now you have your wing built. It's just going to slot in to that little slot right here that we left open. And you can see the gun is up here, but you're not going to see it because it's encased, or it's covered by these braking thrusters. On the other side, it's the same thing. 2 of these Stroud Cap Bs. On the front, it's going to be 2 Stroud nose cap Cs. And then we did a brig on this port side. Excuse me, port is left, starboard is right. And then above it, we're going to use a Stroud living quarters 2x2. And then a Stroud armory 2x1. So the brig is 2x2, Stroud living quarters 2x2, Stroud armory 2x1. And then the same thing here, we're going to use 4 of these thruster arrays. And then the 2 Stroud Cap Bs will hook up here. And the 2 Stroud Cap Cs will hook there. And then here in the middle, we're going to put the 2 thruster Stroud braking engines. And the same thing, it just slots in. Our docking, slim docker is going to be 100 DP. I used to know how to do this. And it's just gonna... Why can't I get this thing to go up? I think I bugged it out. Alright, I'll play with that here in a minute. It goes directly under the first Stroud workshop that we put at the bottom. It's the first square right there. That way when you come into the lander, it's got that one ladder and the docker. It's all just the one ladder all the way up to the top. As far as the nose cone, I don't like to use glitch building, like flip glitches and stuff, but I'm going to make an exception here. It's not necessary. You can change this out and put a different type of cockpit in here, like a Tayo or something. I just like the way this one looked. And it's just one piece. This piece right here, you have to do the flip glitch. And if you don't want to do that, you can, like I said, you can switch this out for like a Tayo cockpit or something, and it'll work just fine. It kind of looks like a tongue sticking out. But the nose cone is just a Stroud Cap A, a Stroud nose cap C, another Stroud Cap A that's flipped upside down. You can go like that. And then the same thing on the other side, a Stroud Cap A, a nose cap C, and then another Stroud Cap A. And then holding it together is going to be the Stroud nose cap B for top. It'll go just like that, and then this piece will snap in just like that. Then your cockpit, I'm using a Viking CP210 cockpit. It's the one that gives 260 cargo. I'm going to stick it just like that. And then this will just snap onto the ship. And that's it. Now, like I said, the one flip glitch that I did, it's because there's these two pieces right here that stick out. Normally you could put guns here. Like, if you wanted, you could mount your weapons like that. They're hard points. But I just wanted to put this piece here to give it the, you know, close off the entire nose cone here. But those little gun hard points stick out too far. So when you try to put it on here, it won't fit. But if you just stick it in there like that, flip, flip, and then hit escape, and it fits just fine. So a little bit of cheating. Like I said, you could use a different cockpit. Well, I guess I can't because I've hit the module limit. But you just have to add a, because other cockpits are usually just one square. You'd have to add like another companionway right here, and then the cockpit. And it would work fine without the glitching, but whatever. But this is the ship. I spent a lot of time tweaking this, trying to squeeze out every bit of cargo I could get, figuring out how to get the weapons internalized, and just to make it generally, you know, I didn't want to have any hard points showing, no connections, you know, like because I could have saved a couple of modules by there's some pieces with Shroud that you can put on here that I think it's 3 of these. But then it has this like piece on the outside for mounting weapons, and I didn't want that to be showing, so I guess you have the connectors here still showing, but they're like inside, like on the inside of the ship, or facing the inside of the ship, and there's nothing I can do about that. Originally I was trying to make some engines configurations that looked something like this, and then I had the I think I had something like that, and then I was trying to fill out some stuff here with like fuel tanks and stuff, but I don't know. I like the way that I finally came up with it. It just looks like it flows really nice. When you make these big ships, it starts to lag out my computer a little bit. Like everything takes a little bit longer. But this is the ship. If you want a ship that does everything, then this is definitely something you could do. Like there's literally, you can't make it any bigger. It has the most powerful weapons, most powerful shields, lots of cargo, max crew. I didn't put any shielded cargo on here, but that would be easy to do. You would just swap out like these 30 ton cargo haulers or something for shielded cargo. I don't run contraband. I just don't think it's worth it. But if you wanted to do that, that's something you could do easily. But I'm happy with how this has come out. Like I said, I've been tinkering with this probably for a month now. I think for my next build, I'm going to be playing around with this one. Call it the Golden Glider, or maybe the Midas. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to call this. But anyways, let's get out here and we'll take it out for a spin. I think I kicked all the crew members off, so it's just going to be me up here. I tried to give us this little distinctive cross on the top, which is what I actually haven't downloaded. It just came out yesterday. I haven't downloaded the free lanes thing yet, so I haven't tried any of this cruising around yet. I'm gonna do that when I get some days off at work. guess we'll do it like this. Let's take one out. All right. Let's go over to Serpentis is usually where I go to test out this combat configuration. So like I was saying, yeah, the expansion just came out yesterday, and I'm going to try that out. I hear there's new modules that you can play around with, so I'm looking forward to that, because I spend a lot of my time in the shipbuilder. That's my favorite part of the game. Okay. So we got Valentine. If you get him, if you're jumping the system, you're not going to get any enemies to show up. Go max engines. I'm not using the auto weapons, I'm just using the regular weapons. If you don't know how that works, I think maybe I should use auto weapons. I don't know. I don't think it matters. This thing just melts other ships.
Lost the shields. Great Serpent, protect us.
Auto weapons always fire at full power, and then when they deplete their energy, they how much energy you have in each system will determine how fast the weapons recharge. Regular weapons depends on how much power you have in the system. It depends on how much how hard they'll hit. So maybe I should use auto weapons. I don't know. Like I said, I've never had any trouble with space combat in this game, so let's get pointed into the sun. I'll take some glamour shots here. Photo mode. This is it. Like I said, this is what I consider an in-game ship. It's got just a little bit of everything on it. Well, it doesn't have the shielded cargo because, like I said, I don't care for that sort of thing. I tried to give it a distinctive cross on the top with the red cross, and that's why I call it the Southern Cross. But I spent a lot of time trying to make it so there was no external hardpoint showing. Everything was smooth and slick on the outside. All the weapons are inside. Shields internalized. Originally I had the fuel inside also, but I decided that these things actually look pretty cool on the rear mounted like that. But this is it. This has been my pride and joy for the last couple of weeks that I've been playing around with, and I hope you guys enjoy it. All right, thanks.